I know who the Justice Killer is.
Haha.
Fordham, if this is your idea of a diversion...
It's true. I found a link in the sketches of the crime scenes.
All right.
Yeah, boy.
Let's hear it then. What do you think you found?
I'm not telling you.
I'll tell you if you promise to let me take the case.
Out of the question, Fordham.
Nope.
This is a police matter.
I'm a police.
And the police haven't made
type
progress
dude.
in months. Fordham figured it out in a matter of minutes.
Haha.
Admit it, Snelling. Fordham is your best shot at finding the killer. Are you gonna let your personal differences put the people of this city in danger?
Fine. I'll let you continue to operate as an assistant in this case, if you have actually found something of value. Now, what is this link?
He leaves a single Easter lily at each crime scene. The same type of flowers the burglar and the chum was stealing.
I see. A tenuous link, but plausible. I'll give you until tomorrow afternoon. If you haven't come up with anything, I'm throwing you in jail.
Sounds fair to me.
Whatever, I'll throw
And
something
don't
into
get any
you.
clever ideas about leaving town either.
How would I ever leave the chum, dude?
Would I do something like that?
Fordham, it seems there's no telling what you might do. I'm probably a fool for not clapping you in irons right here and now. When you have
clap you
something
back.
to report, come find me in my office. Don't make me regret this.
You ain't got nothing on me.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Except you're still fired. I didn't have a chance to get him to change his mind.
We'll worry about that after you catch the killer. In the meantime, I could use a drink.
Oh, dude, I don't
I'll
like you
see
when
you
you're
later,
hammered.
Fordham.
She gets annoying. She starts taking her clothes
Well,
off
better
and
get
dancing.
to work then. Clock is ticking.
All right, well, let's take a nap first. Well, what do we do?
At least this poor slob got to die in bed. The Justice Killer sure is thorough, you have to give him that. Pretty flower, but is there really anything special about it?
Just seeing if this guy gives me
Not a
any
very
new
pretty
advice.
way to go out. I wonder if he was trying to get something from that safe. The flower certainly brings the... You have to wonder what the meaning behind this is. Must have been a powerful shot to knock him backwards like that. Bloody writing. This killer is one sick individual.
I'll say.
That flower adds a nice touch to an otherwise drab apartment. Too bad about the body, though. Whew. Oh, that's not a pretty sight. Interesting place for a flower. Way to ruin a perfectly good wall.
Yeah, okay. So he has nothing good to say. Let's just get the hell out of here. Oh, we don't really have a whole lot to go on, so the House of Parliament is where we're going.
Fordham, what brings you to this delightful spectacle?
Hello, Edwards. I'm investigating the Justice Killer. I believe I've got a very promising lead.
I heard an officer mention new orders from Snelling, but I thought he was just pulling my leg. Feel free to have a look around. I'm just writing up the notes from my initial examination of the body, so I'll be happy to share my findings.
Cool,
Good.
thank you.
I'll just get started then.
Looks pretty fresh. I wonder what the killer uses to write with.
I guess is a number 3 brush. Huh. October.
Odd. The page for this month has been torn out. You suppose Edwards might know anything about that?
Maybe.
Nothing has been written in yet for next month. Curious.
That's my thoughts exactly. Well, Looked like he was wearing a dress for a second. Let me check his drawers.
Nothing but a bunch of boring documents. You'd think he could have at least been considerate enough to keep something scandalous in here. Biographies and autobiographies. Dull, dull, dull. History books and political theory. I might die of boredom. Again. The former Percival McDonough. Being a good politician. The former...
Yeah, okay, so we can't check anything there.
Leave it to a politician to hang a portrait of himself in his own office.
So there's nothing else.
Looks pretty...
Alright, guess we're gonna talk to him then. Got nothing else we could do. Damn.
Got a moment, Edwards?
Maybe.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Your wife? Huh?
So, what was found at the crime scene?
A dead body.
No shit.
Edwards.
Hey, just trying to lighten the mood a bit. Anyway,
Thanks, man.
There
You
was
did
also
it.
the word justice written in blood, as you can see on the floor there.
Yeah.
Is that all?
What more do you need? All the pieces are in place. This is the work of the justice killer.
Oh crap! We need the filler, or the flower.
What did your examination of the body turn up?
Apparent cause of death was a single gunshot to the head, exactly like all the other victims. The bullet is still lodged in his brain. I'll remove it once I transport the body back to the mortuary.
Anything else?
No personal effects of note, just a folded up piece of paper in his breast pocket. It's blank, so the police weren't interested. I assume you aren't either.
Never assume, Edwards. I'll take it if you don't mind.
Be my guest.
Did the police manage to learn anything during their investigation?
Not much beyond what I've already told you. I think they were planning on speaking to the victim's wife, though.
Did you get the address?
I did, as a matter of fact. 1820 Kent Place.
Now we get to deal with the grieving widow. Hopefully the officers who delivered the news got the worst of it.
Did you find an Easter lily anywhere?
An Easter lily?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A flower.
The justice killer leaves one at every crime scene.
Is that right? I never noticed.
Yeah.
Neither did anyone else, apparently.
So how does leaving a lily at the scene of the crime figure into all of this?
I'm still trying to figure that out, but I think it might be important to understanding his motive.
Well, be sure to let me know if you do figure it out.
It probably
The
has
thought
something to do
process
with the
of killers
church.
is a twisted, curious thing.
How
Does
are
it feel
you?
good to be out of the office?
As long as I have the chance to examine a body and learn something in the process, I don't care where I am. Though I do admit a preference to working in my own environment. Fieldwork can be a bit uncertain.
Oh.
There's so much more potential for contamination, especially with those clumsy officers trouncing about groping everything.
Whoa,
Present company
whoa.
excluded, of course.
Naturally. Thank you.
Edwards, did you notice McDonough's desk calendar?
I did. This month has been torn out. I asked the officers investigating the scene, and they had no idea what happened to it.
So it wasn't found in this room?
That's right. My theory is that the killer took it.
Which means there was probably something incriminating written on it. If only there was some way of knowing what it was.
Miles, have you forgotten the oldest trick in the book? Just find a pencil and you'll have that information in no time.
I forgot about that technique. I remember doing that as a kid.
What's your take on this whole justice killer situation?
It's giving me a lot of extra work, let me tell you. We haven't had a serial murderer in a long time. Not since that fellow who was poisoning people about 10 years ago.
Oh, damn.
Ah, yes. Gascon Ghoul. Now there was a case.
Any theories or insights regarding the killer's motive or identity?
That's not really my specialty. If you want to get into that psychology stuff, you're better off talking to someone like Snelling.
Ah, crap.
Edwards, do you have a pencil I might borrow?
Of course. Take this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I keep it?
That's all for now, Edwards.
Good luck with your investigation.
Smells like your pocket and tacos.
A classic trick. Let's see if it works.
Yeah. Do 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 do. I'm gonna draw a puppy. Do 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 do. Nice. Okay, we got something down here. Ruby 8 a.m. Shockley. Whoa. Nothing else. Stay inside the lines. Perfect. Nothing else down there. Okay, so we got...
Aha! McDonough met with this person the night of the murder. I'll bet 500 crowns it's a false name, but at least it's something.
Oh, I wasn't done coloring yet. Okay, we're good, we're good.
Intriguing. We'll need to find out who this Ruby is.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Shockley and Ruby.
It seems the killer didn't want anyone to know about this meeting with McDonough, and possibly not with Ruby either. It seems the killer did. It seems the.
I guess that's it.
No time to waste. The former.
So that's it? Alright, let's go check out about Shockley and Ruby. The McDonough residence. Alright, let's check it out. She looks scary as hell. Hi, ma'am. Can I ask you a few questions even though your husband just died? Awesome.
What? Who are you?
A ghost of
I'm
Christmas
Miles
past.
Fordham, private investigator. Your butler just announced me.
Oh, of course. Forgive me. I was just, well, never
Crying.
mind. Please make yourself comfortable, Mr. Fordham.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. McDonough.
Should I sit down? There.
They look expensive, but I bet they're totally worthless. I feel sorry for the sucker who has to clean them. Just a painting of this one looks like. I think I'll call this one Lord Alf. Surely this.
I guess that's it. Oh crap! No. Oh.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
Sorry, I left without really wanting to.
I appreciate you seeing me, Mrs. McDonough. I know you must be going through a difficult time right now.
Yeah.
What exactly is it you want from me, Mr. Fordham? I already spoke to the police about my husband's murder.
I just have a few questions of my own.
Oh, very well.
Yay.
What can you tell me about your husband?
I'll tell you the same thing I told the police, Mr. Fordham. Percival was one of the hardest working members of Parliament. He took his job extremely seriously. The recent election caused him a terrible amount of consternation, as I'm sure it did most people. He took Atwood's loss rather hard.
Did you see much of him?
I beg your pardon?
Surely someone with such an important position in government could find themselves consumed by their work. Did he spend much time at home?
He made it a point to come home and have dinner with me every night, even if he had to return to the office afterwards.
Oh, that's sweet of him.
And did that happen often?
At least 3 or 4 times in a week, yes. He'd stay in his office working late into the night. As I said, he was very dedicated to his role.
Sounds to me like she's quite dedicated to hers, too.
Uh-huh.
How are you feeling, Mrs. McDonough?
My husband of 42 years was shot in his office. How do you think I feel?
Pretty relieved.
Tactful as always, Fordham. How do you do it?
My apologies.
I'm gifted.
Perhaps that wasn't the most appropriate question. Is there anything I can do to help?
You can start by finding the monster who murdered Percival.
I'm working on it.
Did your husband have any enemies?
He was a politician, Mr. Fordham. Half the city hated him.
Yeah.
Did he ever receive any kind of threats against his life?
None that I was ever made aware of. I have no idea who could have killed him, let alone who could have gotten into his office to do it. He hadn't told me about any meetings or appointments this week either.
Oh, crap.
Was it his custom to inform you of his work affairs?
Oh, well, I've always taken an interest in my husband's work. He'd often mention initiatives he was working on or people he was meeting, that sort of thing. Nothing sensitive or confidential, you understand. Just conversation about his day.
Uh-huh.
Can you think of any reason why your husband would have been murdered?
Not really. He was a vocal opponent of the construction of the Gascogne-Chumley Bridge, but I hardly think that would have been sufficient reason to drive someone to murder.
Why is that?
Well, it's just a bridge, isn't it? There are plenty of other ways to get to Chumley.
I meant, why was he
True.
opposed to it?
Oh, because the amount of money required to build it is exorbitant. Public funds should be used on roads and buildings that are falling apart. What's the point of having something shiny and new if everything around it is in disrepair?
Well, that's true. I guess we should ask.
You know
about
anyone named
these.
Shackley?
No, I've never heard that name before. Why?
I saw your husband had a meeting scheduled with him shortly before his murder.
That can't be right. He didn't tell me about that. He always told me about his meetings.
It was written on his office calendar, clear as day.
As I said, I don't know who that person is. Why wouldn't Percival have told me about their meeting?
Why indeed?
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with someone named Ruby?
I can't say I am. Who is it?
Just a name that's come up in my investigation.
Sounds like the name of a trollop. Or perhaps a dog.
Oh, your husband was giving it to someone else. Ah.
Have you heard of the Justice Killer?
That was the name the police mentioned when they told me about Percival's murder. It's absolutely terrifying to think that one sick person could be capable of such evil.
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
is he called the Justice Killer? What justice was done by murdering my husband?
I'm afraid I can't answer that right now, Mrs. McDonough, but I intend to find out. Those are all the questions I have for now, Mrs. McDonough.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
So we're no wiser than the minute we walked in here. We don't know anything about Shackley or Ruby. We got to go to the cop shop, talk to Numbnuts. Look at that pompous
Fordham,
ass.
How goes the investigation?
Freaking fantastic.
I'm making some headway.
Is that right? I certainly hope so for your sake.
Aw, thanks. You're rooting for me. That's good to hear.
The rumor was always that the chief kept a bottle of something in a secret compartment in this cabinet. In Snelling's case, it's probably just water. Every book and file in there is organized to perfection. I'll bet Snelling gets flustered if anything is even a millimeter out of place. You should bump into the side when he's not looking. Every book, you should bump.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else.
Chief Jacobs. Now there was a leader.
Yeah. All right, let's talk to this jerk face.
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
Yes, Fordham. Oh, he looks like Steve Buscemi.
Enjoying your new position, Snelling?
Reaping the rewards for years of hard work and dedicated service. A gratifying feeling you'll never be able to experience.
Oh, I get my gratification in other ways.
I'm sure you do,
Self-gratification.
and I'd honestly rather not know about them.
Sometimes my wife helps me, but not anymore because I got kicked out of my house. Yeah.
So I see the department is still running like a well-oiled machine.
It is, in fact. But I'm sure Upton has kept you well informed of our activities. Incidentally, the woman accused in the Harris kidnapping is set to testify in court today.
Nice.
Linda Walker's trial is today? That was fast.
Indeed. Sometimes the wheels of justice grind slowly. Sometimes they spin out of control. She'll be taking the stand within the hour. If you care to hear her for yourself, best get going soon.
Now, oh, okay. That sounds good to me.
What information do you have on the Justice Killer?
Clearly not as much as you.
Nope.
I see how this is gonna go.
Well, what do you have?
A list of 5 victims, some information on each of them, and no clear idea what connects them. Until your discovery of the lily at each scene, that was where we stood. While I doubt this discovery will do much to aid in tracking him down, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that's because people are burning at your heels trying to get stuff from you, dummy.
Do you know anything about Percival McDonough?
He's a member of Parliament. I believe his constituency is somewhere in central Kingsland. From the reports I've gotten, McDonough led a rather unassuming life for a politician. He is, however, the first victim who didn't live in Chumley. Either there's a link we've missed, or the killer is changing his method. Then again, since you seem so confident in your abilities to resolve this matter, I assume you'll provide an explanation.
Count on it. What do you know about the Justice Killer's previous victims?
Only what's in their files. All working men from Chumley. That's the only link.
You didn't look further into their personal lives? Maybe they had some social connection.
As I said, the detectives found nothing. You seem to think you can do better, so I'll leave it up to you.
I have to wonder how much more thorough the department's investigations would have been if the 4 men were all rich like McDonough.
Yeah, no kidding.
Listen, about Leger's death.
I don't want to hear it, Fordham. What happened, happened. Nothing you can say is going to change my opinion on the matter.
And if I manage to find the man responsible?
The man responsible is standing before me.
Holy
Even
shit,
if you
he's here?
manage to find the culprit you let escape, it isn't going to bring Leger back from the dead.
But it will bring closure to the matter.
If that thought is what allows you to sleep at night, then so be it.
What makes him think you sleep at night?
I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes, time is not on your side, Fordham.
Meh. Whatever, bruh. I'm out. I'm gonna go kick some crap and make you uneasy. Alright, we got the courthouse we gotta go to now.
Remind me, Miles, why are we here again? Is this for your own personal satisfaction, or did you expect her to have some useful information?
Hey, you never know.
Shh.
Mrs. Linda Walker, you stand accused of kidnapping Charles Harris. What have you to say in your defense?
I had to see if I could speak with my son Alexander again.
Yes. According to your initial statement, you seem to believe that the Harris child is the reincarnation of your own deceased son.
All the evidence was there. I thought it had to be him.
And in regards to the execution of your plan, you secretly administered a soporific drug to your friend and the Harris family nanny, Mrs. Henrietta Davis? Is that correct?
Yes. I felt terrible about doing it, but there was no other way.
According to your journal, you used a mixture of chamomile and valerian, instructed by a Samuel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Samuel is a friend of mine. He works at the docks, and he knows all about plants.
Holy crap.
I asked him what the best combination of herbs would be to put someone in a deep sleep.
So it was your idea, and not his?
Yes, that's right. He only told me about the plants. He's quite the expert. Why, you should see his collection of Easter lilies.
I knew it.
Did she just say what I think she said?
Yes, she did, dude.
Now then, let's turn our attention to the night in question.
So Samuel at the
Interesting.
docks.
This Samuel person might be worth looking into. Although we can't waste time searching the docks with just a first name. I'd make a note of it, just in case it becomes relevant later.
Mm-hmm. There you go, dude. I knew
All right,
it.
I've had enough of this courtroom. Let's get back out there. Time's running out.
Yeah. But if we didn't come here, we wouldn't have gotten that name, jerkface. I don't think Upton can do anything from here. No. Okay, let's get the hell out of here then. I think the only thing we can do, we'll talk to her, see if she knows who this Samuel person
Hello.
is. Probably best.
Ah, damn it. Okay, let's go back to the police station, talk to Numbnuts, see if he can help me out with that name.
No.
What? Where the hell are we going? Alright, so the calendar.
It seems the killer didn't want anyone to know about this meeting with McDonough, and possibly not with Ruby either.
T. Shockley, Samuel.
It seems the
Ruby.
killer didn't want. No time to wait. The former person. Looks pretty fresh.
Okay, let's see. The cause of death: single gunshot to the head. Ironworker at Thornbaum Ironworks, Chumley. Police found Kirkland in his home after Fordham reported Kirkland's absence from work. No witnesses. Investigators' personal life and habits revealed nothing of interest. Single gunshot to the head. Cabby for Colson's Cabs. Wingham in his home by his employer. Crime scene was inspected, but nothing unusual found. Nothing of interest. Construction worker at the Gascony Chumley Bridge. That might be the connection. The employer contacted police again, but no other leads or clues were found. And questioning of Woolwich's co-workers and former lady friend proved fruitless. Lamplighter working for the Central Lamp Depot, Worcester. Discovered cause in his home after a report of a gunshot was made by a neighbor, Ethel Williamson. Person surveyed the scene and found the word justice written in blood, but no other leads or clues. No other clues or leads. No suspects. We got blank paper found in Percival's pocket. We found that? What the hell? Find out the identity of Ruby. Investigate Percival McDonald's office and then find the justice killer. So we might be missing something here.
Leave it to a.
Oh, hang on. He's overlooking the docks.
No signs of forced entry that I can see.
Oh, crap.
The murderer didn't come in through this window.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
No time. The former. Biography. Biography. History. History. History.
Yeah.
Nothing but a bunch of boring documents.
I don't know what else to check. Like, we're still trying to find out who Ruby is, but...
It seems the killer didn't want anyone... Odd.
Holy crap, did we just unlock a whole bunch of holy crap? I guess we'll start over here. Because it was all the,
Well, that doesn't look good.
It was all the employers. Alright, sounds good, Tumblr. I'll probably be done in about 20 minutes here. We'll see where we get to at that point.
Excuse me, sir. Are you in charge here?
Unfortunately. Who are you? This area isn't open to the public.
I'm not
I'm
public.
Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator looking into the murder of one of your workers.
A private investigator, eh? And maybe you can help me out.
Maybe.
I'll do what I can, but I'll need to ask you some questions, Mr.
Mims. Sanford Mims. Go ahead, but make it snappy.
Try my best, dude. Try my best.
What can you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland? A former employee here?
Listen, I've got a lot on my mind right now.
I understand, but it's important to my investigation that you tell me what you know about him.
I'm sure it is, but as you can see, I've got a lot to deal with right now.
Well, he's no help. Maybe you can figure out a way to help him help us.
Alright.
How long have you been the foreman here?
Sometimes I think it's been too long. Things were so much easier before we got these machines. They keep saying they're supposed to improve our lives, but they've been nothing but trouble. I've already had 5 of my best men get mangled by some of them. And then there's these damn fools blowing things up. My hair wasn't this gray 5 years ago, you know. I swear, one of these days, I'm just going to pack it all up and retire. Let someone else deal with these damn things.
Yeah.
What happened to your iron mill?
What's it look like? The damn thing went and got blown up.
Whoa.
Was it in disrepair?
Of course not. All my machinery is sound, checked and serviced regularly. This is the work of those goddamn Redites. I'm sure of it.
What makes you certain the explosion was the Redites doing?
Take a look, boy. The whole mill got taken out. Even if this had been a mechanical failure, which it wasn't, the explosion would have been contained to a single part of the machine. This couldn't have been anything other than sabotage.
Have you had problems with the Redites before?
They've sent anonymous letters, but this is the first time they've actually carried out one of their threats.
You're absolutely sure this was sabotage, then?
Yes. How many times have I got to tell you that?
3.
Listen, you said you were an investigator, right? So find out who did this to my machine. If you do, I'll help you out with whatever else you wanted to ask me about.
Looks like we haven't got
Damn
much
it.
of a choice. He seems pretty upset about his machine.
I'll see what I can do.
Great.
I'll be going.
Be careful.
Okay. Find out who sabotaged the iron mill at Thornburn things.
Completely ruined. Whoever sabotaged this knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
This place sure is big. I wonder if they actually make anything useful.
Probably not. To the employee area. Oh, okay.
Hey, that area is for workers only.
Damn it.
My apologies.
I had no idea. Jerk. Alright, let's get out of here. Bet you this guy's gonna say the same thing. What's going on, dude?
Excuse me.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is a construction area.
No kidding.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. I'm looking into the murder of a man who used to work here.
Yeah.
Who? Bowditch?
That's right.
I got nothing to say about him, and neither do the rest of the boys.
Oh, why
I've
not?
only got a few questions. If you could just...
I've got nothing to say to you. You want to know more about Bowditch? Go talk to his little woman.
Where can I find her?
Ruin Coffee House. She's the serving girl.
Maybe she's
Now
cute.
get out of here. If something falls on you, I'm not gonna take responsibility.
Fine.
Short and to the point. I can respect that, even if it's extremely unhelpful.
Yeah. I knew this was gonna happen. As soon as we go to each place, we get more crap. Okay, so that one's off the map at least. Central Lamp Depot. And look at this dude. He's wearing 3D glasses.
You there! What are you doing?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm trying to find out about...
No time for that now. Get in here and shield your eyes.
All right.
Just do it.
What's going on exactly?
Shh. Everything ready, Alex? 3, 2, 1, go!
Uh-oh. Damn.
Amazing! It works! It works!
What works?
Etheric lamps! Our experiment was a success!
What exactly have we wandered into here, Miles?
No freaking clue, dude.
I wouldn't get too close to that thing. It might end up turning you inside out.
May I ask you a few questions?
Of course! What would you like to know?
Look at this dude.
What is it you do here exactly?
Oh, several things. This is the main hub of the city's Department of Illumination. It's really just a grandiose way of saying that this is where all affairs related to street lamps and public lighting are taken care of. But, in addition to sending out lamplighters or mechanics to repair damaged lamps, we also do research into new methods of illumination.
Cool.
That's what my personal specialization is. I help develop and test more efficient ways of lighting our streets. I guess you could consider me a modern-day Prometheus.
Oh, boy.
More like an everyday pretentious.
You worked with a man named Burley Cause, is that right?
Yes, I heard he was killed. Such a senseless tragedy. It's a shame he missed out on our demonstration. He was really interested in etheric technology.
Wasn't he concerned about losing his job to these technological advances?
He had no reason to. It's been made clear to all the workers that there will always be a place for us, even if our jobs are made obsolete. Unlike some other places, we take care of our own here at the Lamplight Depot.
How noble. But I'm pretty sure he's full of more hot air than the HMS Lenore.
Probably.
You mentioned something about etheric lamps?
Yes! Weren't you paying attention to our demonstration? You have just witnessed history!
What I witnessed was a blinding flash of light.
Exactly! That flash was the result of years of painstaking research and experimentation. It means that not only does ethericity exist, but it can be used as a source of illumination. If these experiments continue to be successful, as I suspect they will, we'll have etheric street lamps before the end of the decade. Imagine lamps that burn twice as bright, 4 times as long. Oh, this will change everything.
And if it's like anything else we've seen, it'll put a lot of people out of work, too.
With all these promises of technological advancement, have the Redites given you any trouble?
Oh, those tech-fearing dolts. Yes, I'm sorry to say that we've gotten threats from them. They have yet to carry any out, which is unsurprising.
How so?
Groups like that are all bluster and no backbone.
I've seen some evidence to the contrary.
Is that right? Well, we've seen little beyond threatening letters, and I intend to make sure it stays that way.
You have any of these letters I might have a look at?
Yes, I have one. I'll give it to you before you leave.
Ooh.
Do you know any details about Mr. Cause's murder?
Unfortunately, I don't. The police were here asking questions, but they didn't give me many details.
Do you know of anyone who might have wanted him dead?
Not at all. Burley was very friendly, always treated everyone around here with respect. You know, it's sad to think that for all our leaps forward, we're still really just a bunch of savages.
Is there anything you know about Mr. Cause's personal life that might be relevant?
I know he was married, but I don't believe he had any children. Oh, and he used to talk about his love for fishing.
Could you give me his home address? Perhaps his wife will be willing to speak with me.
Yes, certainly. He lived at 820 Orchard Avenue, apartment 2A.
Thank you for the information.
Thanks. Now the Justice Killer.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I've I've read about it in the newspaper. A horrible business. It makes me wish we could install more street lamps to keep this city safer at night. Someday, I hope to realize that dream. Then we'll really deserve to be called Lamplight City.
You think brighter streets will stop serial murderers?
It's well known that crime rates are lower in Lyon and Worcester, and they have many more street lamps per square mile.
I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of wealth in those areas. Has to be all about the lighting.
Thank you. Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Happy to help. Here's that letter you were asking about.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. To the engineers, chaos and destruction, you are working in a direct opposition to the natural order of things. These so-called improvements will be the downfall of our society. If you do not cease your unholy experiments, the Red Ice will be forced to take action. You have been warned. Peter Frank.
Now that's interesting. Whoever wrote this letter signed it with initials.
P.S.
They can't have been so stupid as to make themselves so easily identifiable, can they?
I wonder if they would be.
So this is where all the lamps in the city come from. I can't believe I never bothered finding out before. There's the bunch of crap they used to build street lamps with.
Alright, let's check out Burley Cause. Maybe we'll find out a little bit more details of what's going on with him. It was 2A, right?
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
Kick the door in. Check 2B. Oh, probably have to look in here.
Yeah? May I help you, young man?
Yeah.
Hello, madam. My name is Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I have some questions about your neighbor.
You mean my former neighbor?
Yeah.
Yes. In any case, I'd appreciate it if you could help me with some information.
Nah, I don't think so. The last person to ask me about him was that awful policeman. I don't want to have to go through that again.
I'm sorry you had a bad experience, but I can assure you I won't give you a hard time.
No, that's easy for you to say. But actions speak louder than words.
Want some cookies?
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
Is there anything I can do for you then?
Well, since you asked,
Jeez.
my layabout husband is out wasting our retirement fund with his drinking. Go find him and bring him back here. Then maybe we can talk.
Yay.
Oh, wonderful. Now we're playing babysitter.
You'll find him at the Silent Raven.
Of course.
It's not too far from here.
Good.
Yes, I know it.
Good. My husband's name is Kurt Williamson. You tell him his wife Ethel wants him home at once.
I'll do my best, Mrs. Williamson.
Maybe I could just kick the door in instead.
And I thought the housekeeping in my apartment was bad.
Great. Nope, it's over here. Let's go find his dumbass. Probably drunk as a skunk, too. There he is.
Excuse me, are you Kurt Williamson?
That's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
You're
Oh,
in
yeah?
so much trouble.
What is it you want from me?
It's not what I want, it's what your wife wants.
Ethel sent me to tell you she wants you to come home right away.
I should have known. I can't get away for more than a few hours before she's put the entire city on high alert. How much of my retirement fund did she waste on getting you to come down here?
I'm only doing this because I need some information.
The joke's on you, then. You can just go back and tell her I'll come home when I'm damn well ready.
Oh.
Why is it you're so averse to returning home?
I enjoy going out and having a good time. Is that so wrong?
Your wife told me she doesn't like you spending your money on drink.
What I spend my money on is none of her business, and even less of yours. What's this world coming to when a man can't even drink in peace without all his affairs shouted from the rooftops?
You know, this whole situation seems awfully familiar.
Uh-huh.
Listen, Mr. Williamson, I think I know what you're going through.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
My wife and I were having a rough patch. I wasn't being honest with her, and it nearly drove us apart.
But you managed to fix things.
Yes, I was fortunate. I did the right thing before it was too late.
And what did you do?
I told her the truth.
It was simple. I just communicated honestly and openly with her. I told her what was wrong and how I was feeling. And you know what? She listened. Have you ever told Ethel why you like going out?
No. I assumed she wouldn't understand. I really wish she would come out with me, but I know she'd never agree.
Aww.
How do you know? Have you actually talked to her about this?
Well, no.
Well, then maybe you should. If she knew you wanted company, she might just give it a try.
You know, I never thought of it like that. I'm going to go home right now and tell her. And if she refuses, well, at least I asked, right?
That's the spirit.
Damn
Thanks
right.
for the advice, friend. I really do appreciate it.
Hey, man, that's what I'm all about, babysitting and helping people. Man, you're short.
Not bad. I have to say, I'm impressed.
You should be. I'm pretty badass, if I have to say so myself. Uh-huh. So I did what you wanted me to, you old wench.
Ah, Mr. Fordham, thank you so much for getting Kurt back home.
Hey, no
Don't
problem.
mention it. Now, would you be willing to answer some questions?
Nope.
Well, yes, of course.
Alright.
How long have you been living here?
Well, Kurt and I moved in shortly after we were married, so it's been about 34 years.
Wow.
Goodness, that's a long time to be living in one place.
Yes, well, the building may be a bit run down, and it gets colder than cold in the winter, but the rent has always been cheap. You can't really ask for much more than that.
You could, but...
Tell me what you know about Burley Cause.
He and his wife hadn't been living next door very long, maybe 4 months or so. But I didn't talk to either of them very much. They weren't interested in being neighborly, I guess. It's a shame, really. Maybe if we had known one another better, something like this could have been prevented.
Maybe.
Where is Mrs. Cause now?
I don't know, with her mother, maybe. That's usually how it goes.
You wouldn't happen to know where that is, would you?
Afraid not, but there is one other thing.
Oh, I knew
Yes.
it. Snooping
Don't
old
say
lady.
I told you this, but well, I used to hear the two of them through my wall.
Oh.
I tried ignoring it since it's really none of my business, but it became impossible.
What was it you heard?
I don't believe they had a happy marriage. They'd have awful fights a couple times a week.
Wow.
What would they fight about?
Oh, all sorts of things. The worst one was when she discovered he was going to a brothel. I think he might have hit her on a few occasions, too.
Oh, that's not cool.
But I can't be certain. I hope you don't think me a horrible old gossip, but I thought you might like to know.
I certainly
Not at
do.
all. I'm glad you told me.
Okay, so there might be a little more to this.
What happened on the day Mr. Cause was killed?
I was here at home doing my knitting as usual. All of a sudden, I heard a loud bang. It sounded like a gunshot. I went and knocked on Mrs. Cause's door, but there was no answer. I did notice a smell, though, like flowers.
Oh.
Something seemed wrong. So I decided to report the incident to the police. Not long after that, an officer showed up and started asking questions. Awful man he was, so rude. I gotta report him, but I forgot his name. I think it started with a P.
Prick?
Parsons?
Yes, that's him. He called for some more officers and they got into the apartment. That's when I found out Mr. Cause had been murdered.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
You mean the serial killer who's been killing men in Chumley?
That's the one.
Nah, never heard of him.
What?
I'm just pulling your leg, Mr. Fordham.
I like this one. She's got spirit.
Unfortunately, I only know what I've read in the Gazette, but it's scary to think some maniac is loose on the streets doing such terrible things. And with Kurt going out by himself for hours at a time, oh, I don't like it one bit.
Aw, she's so
I appreciate
sweet.
your time, Mrs. Williamson.
Have a good day, Mr. Fordham.
Alright, so we have the wife.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
No, there doesn't. So let's go back outside. Did we add anything to the map? We got her, we got them, we got that guy, we got the coffee house, which is where the girlfriend is at. Police station, Central Lamp Colson Cab Depot, her apartment, and that's it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna save the game. Here, we'll go over here because this is the only place I can think of that won't actually do anything. So we'll go in here and we will save the game right now. Let's see, Trail of Justice Killer. Ooh, sounds ominous and awesome, doesn't it? So thank you everybody for the love and support. Everybody on YouTube, you guys are absolutely amazing. Keep showing the love on this series. It's been phenomenal. I love this game. And thank you everybody for the love and support in the chat on Twitch. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Tumblr, as well, for always being here, dude. You are freaking awesome as well. And I will see everybody in the next episode. Take care.